Welcome to Chance Encounters, the show where once again we put the here in superhero because boy are we ever here.
What?
What an intro.
You know, I was trying something. It may or may not have worked.
This is the content we crave, Ian.
We are once again joined by our prime investigator, Jade. And so last week, our investigator squad decided to meet with Pantheon, their squad leader, about basically the events that have been going on. After everything, she wanted to bring you guys in and just kind of make sure that you were okay at the local burger stop. And she very heavily implied to you that she would allow you to continue to investigate these stranger events surrounding the fire at Menagerie's house for the rest of the week, giving you guys roughly 4 to 5 days to play with, to bring back any findings to her. And then, if nothing substantial comes of that, to finally once and for all drop this case and let Nova and the other heroes presumably take control of the situation. You then went to visit Backtrack in the hospital, who's still comatose but stable, where you met his squad mate, Baby Loni, who is an investigative specialist who wanted to join in on the case and learn everything that you guys had learned up until this point. You sort of pooled your resources and made a list of people to go and speak with that included an expert on fire-related abilities, which included finally revealing that Wi-Fi was the person responsible for your mysterious text messages, who gave you some more information about the article that you had read that she sent you. And she and Teatra were both there. You also went and met with Helix after a tense conversation with Ivy where he expressed some concern about his friend. And you went to find him just coming off the heels of this ritual of some kind. You guys still aren't really sure what exactly he was doing, only that Silhouette uncovered that whatever the candles that he was using were giving off some sort of intoxicant, some sort of mind-altering effect that they had. And you spoke with him, didn't really necessarily go anywhere, but some emotional words were exchanged. And as that door was closed on your first day of your licensed investigation here, as that door closed, that's where we are going to pick up. So I am going to leave it up to you guys. Do you guys want to pick up on that moment? Because it's now kind of early-ish evening, maybe like 6 or 7 at night. Most people would be winding down, but if you guys want to pick up, if anyone has anything to do in this moment, we can do that, or we can fast forward to the next day.
I'm going to pull Joe aside and say, hey, Joe, could I get Wi-Fi's number from you? I didn't really get to speak with her because of extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I got Wi-Fi's phone number. I got Wi-Fi's info.
I think everyone did.
Yeah.
So I get that from Joe, and then I'm gonna text Wi-Fi and say, "Hey, Wi-Fi, this is BB from Team Pantheon. I'm sorry we didn't get to talk today, but look, you were at the party, so I assumed you were interviewed by Detective Asher, and I don't know what it is, but she just seems real familiar to me. So I was wondering if you could dig up any info on like her employment history, where she's from, etc." It's a voice message. It's a voice text message.
Okay.
Just hold
BB exclusively
like
uses
this.
voice to text. Yeah.
That's such a specific type of person, and I feel like that fits BB so well.
Absolutely.
The response comes back pretty quick.
Okay.
And it says something to the effect of, you want me to dig up dirt on a government agent?
Not dirt, just content. Everything is content.
She does kind of respond all at once. She says, so you want me to dig up dirt on a government agent? Interesting. But not impossible. It may take some time, but I'll see what I can do.
Okay. And then after I get that message back from her, I'm going to reply, thanks a lot. And then I'm going to look up the region that Troubleshooter mentioned that I've never heard of before.
Okay.
That she's from. Just on future Google.
Okay. So where are you doing this? Have you...
On my phone.
No, I mean, like, where location-wise are you? Like, have you left Team Tonatress' house?
Yeah, I think we're right outside Tonatress' house.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you're just sort of outside looking stuff up on your phone. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, doing some research. We'll get back to that then, because that'll take some
we'll
time.
do that later. Yeah.
Does anybody is anybody else doing anything in this moment?
Yeah. So I think Haramone closes the door to Helix's room and stands there for a couple seconds as like she just like starts processing what just happened, and like she starts taking a couple steps, and as her mind gets like faster and faster and like she's thinking about more and more troubling things, I think like a wave of just like tightness comes to her throat and her chest, and she pushes herself up against the wall, and like it attempts to ground herself, and then she calls out for Ivy to come upstairs.
Ivy comes bounding up the stairs with these surprisingly light footsteps for a man so big and heavy. And as he runs up, you see he's already like, and he looks around and he sees you, and he walks up to you and he just kind of like scratches his beard a little bit and he goes, "Oh man, what did he say? Are you all right?"
No, no, it's fine. He's fine. He just, he said some things that, made me start thinking about stuff I've been trying to push off all day. And, is there like a back door I can take? I don't want my team to see me like this. And I don't know if I can stay. Can I crash here tonight? I can't.
Yeah, of course. Hold on. Here, come on. And he takes you down the hallway, and as you're going down the stairs, he kind of like snaps upward to get the attention of QuickTime, who is still just dancing with her headphones, and she looks and she stops. She pulls her headphones down a little bit and she goes, "Hey, are you okay?"
Yeah, I just, I need to calm down, but I'm coming back.
Ivy goes, "QuickTime, remember emergency cheer plan Delta?" And she goes,
Oh my God.
"Delta." Yeah. She takes the headphones off, unplugs them, and goes over to the speaker and just cranks it all the way up. And suddenly you just hear this very loud, the most bubblegum future synth pop that you have ever heard starts blasting through the entire house. QuickTime runs up to you. She puts her hand out and she goes, "May I?"
Oh shit, I didn't. Oh. I think Haramone will, but it becomes very apparent that this is not exactly how she needs to work through whatever this is right now.
That's fair.
So like,
These people don't necessarily know that.
So she's like, she is bopping, but it's like an anxiety attack dance.
She watches the hesitation and she's like, "You can join in whenever you feel comfortable. Ivy, go." And Ivy steps up in front of her, cracks his knuckles, and then he puts his hands behind his head and he just starts going. And you just see this enormous burly man with a beard just like breaking it down to the best of his ability. And like he's got some moves, and like QuickTime is just like cheering him on. And then he starts like, he like pumps his butt out a little bit and she butt bumps him too, but she's like much shorter than him. And the two of them are just like circling you and just like dancing, and her smile is so big as she looks at you. And then like Ivy's like, kind of like Squidward.
All of the like, just the stimulus, I think, gets way too much. And if there's like a door to a backyard or just like a back area, Haramone will just like run away. And like, if there's like I don't know what the backyard, if there is one, looks like, but she's just gone.
Okay.
Goodbye.
See, you head outside into their little, like, similar to the training area that you guys have, and you step out, and just sort of find a spot to sit. You hear the music cut. Ivy and QuickTime both come out, and he sits down next to you, and she sits down on the other side. And he just kind of like puts his head in his hands for a second. He goes, okay, I can see that maybe wasn't the right approach. Something that we do here, little something that usually works for us. Look, I don't know what happened in there. I don't really understand what Helix is going through right now. But and he looks over to QuickTime and she goes, hey man, I have like 10,000 of the best pillows, the most soft, adorable, very bright pink pillows that you have ever seen. I can arrange them in such a way where that couch will feel like a very fine bed, the bed of a queen. It'll happen.
I think you see that Haramon is like digging into her own thighs like really hard. Just like anything to pull her back to the present moment, any sensation. And like after a little bit, she does calm down and she pulls out her phone and she'll text Silhouette and just say, I'll meet you guys later at the house. Just text me when you guys get home.
I think Silhouette doesn't know what's happening. Just to follow with it, I think she would already have left the house. I'll just text back like, don't be too long, already miss you.
So Ivy stands up and looks toward the sliding door and back to you, and he goes, drink of choice? Didn't catch it at the party.
Maybe later when I come back. I need to go take a walk. Because while he didn't say anything, BB said something, and I need to talk to her about it, and I don't know how she's gonna react, so I need to be in the best headspace I can.
Okay. We'll make everything up for you. You can stay as long as you need to.
Thanks.
Oh, I know what to do. And he gets up and the smile comes across his face again. And QuickTime goes, Fort Comfort. He nods. Fort Comfort.
Oh my god.
And they go back inside, and the two of them, you see them start essentially building a blanket fort around the couch.
How are they so pure? Why do all these teams have like 2 to 3 pure people and then one sad boy or girl?
Is this how they cheer up Helix?
I mean,
I suppose that is the question, isn't it?
Helix
So
just
cute.
like angry in a fort, like shirtless,
just like Magic Mike'd on.
all four arms out when he's doing that?
No, he didn't. He knew better than to bring the arms out. God, that's terrifying. But yeah. So,
imagine being hugged by him, and then you just sort of like feel his midsection moving, and then there's 2 more arms. What would you do? That'd be so gross.
Can't.
Silhouette and Loni, what are you guys doing right now?
I think I'm with them.
You're with, okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
you guys are all outside at this time.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that we'd be on our way somewhere, because I feel like if we did hear something like party music, we'd be like, what? I don't know, I guess at this point, it's what you said, it's like evening. We should probably just...
Yeah, the sun's going down.
I
Well-
would probably suggest something like going back to our dorm or whatever.
What about trying to find Poltergeist real quick? Or is that something we should save for tomorrow? What are you guys feeling? It's been a long day.
I think I said last time, Baby Loni's been awake
Yeah.
for the last
right.
like a full cycle of a day, a full 24 hours, and she's like running on empty, but she's like, is there anything else we need to do? Like,
Is it pretty obvious? Is it something that we're all picking up on that you're just like, hey?
I think she's probably just like.
Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead. Joe looks over at Baby Loni and is like, "Do you wanna come back to our place? We have like space, and I don't really know what's going on with Haramon. She's probably gonna be a bit, but I don't think she'd mind.
I probably want to check up on. Watch me forget my own teammate's name. I probably want to check up on Hecate. So yeah, that's probably smart. I can just text her.
Okay, yeah, and then I'll go ahead and lead the way. Is BB coming as well?
Yeah, definitely.
I'll shoot Hecate a text that's like not dead, sleeping at this tube's house.
Yeah.
Ian, real quick, what is the name of the security force that the First City
Security, FCS.
FCS, okay. As we're walking back to the house, I'll kind of be like, hey, baby, what do you think about the FCS? You're an investigator.
I was like, I'm baby.
We're both baby. Baby and baby.
Well, baby to baby. Yes. They're, a tool. If they have information, I will gladly use it. I obviously I don't quite know. I've been heroing for about a week. So I think when there's a bad guy, you take them to him, but I also wouldn't necessarily go to them for help. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. That wasn't really any real reason. I was just curious.
Yeah.
So you guys are walking for a little while. You're doing your investigation, right? You're looking into
on my phone. Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll just a general intelligence check. I don't think that you have anything.
Oh no.
I don't think you have any particular rerolls that would apply to this. Anything investigation or research?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so just make an investigation check to see the depth of your research.
I realized last session that I could have re-rolled one of the martial arts things for the troubleshooter thing, but rip. BB does know how to use JSTOR apparently, because she did get one success out of one.
Okay, so on one success out of one, you tell me what exactly is it that you're looking for again? You're looking into Amberley,
just
into the town?
general rundown of what the culture is there and what I don't know. I've never heard of this place really, and if I have, it's been in the briefest of passings. So just a general rundown because I got accosted and yeah, I want to know why I was being accosted.
Amberley is kind of oh wait, why you were being accosted? So you're talking about
Nova West.
Nova West.
Okay, yeah. I misunderstood. Yeah. So okay, there's a little bit of resources that you can look into on Nova West. So part of the reason that you probably hadn't heard of it up till this point is because it is a place that people don't generally go. There is it's on the main continent that is not part of the first city, but like, off the shore, kind of like Catalina style. You can see it from the coast. Mm-hmm. And there are other like Alma cities there, and then a bunch of other places as well. So it is sort of to the west. There is this big desert. It's a huge expanse of dry desert called the Scorch. And from what you understand, there are various villages that have set up in the Scorch because there are certain resources there that are valuable. There are animals that live there. that are native to Paragon that are very sustainable. There are also some scary predators there as well. The landscape can get kind of rocky. It gets very hot and then very cold. It's harsh. Mm-hmm. So it kind of begs the question of why people choose to live there. But it is sort of separated from the rest of the continent by this long road called No One's Highway. And looking into No One's Highway will, I think, require some more investigation. So you succeeded, but still on a scale of like 1 die, I would say that that's like more research to do if you're looking into Nova West specifically. But the fact of their isolation and why people choose to be there, it seems to be that people utilize being separated by that particular highway as a sort of reason to think that maybe it's that people want to not be associated with the way that Alma does things, to not be a part of those trade routes, to have something completely their own, separate and away. But it is a very dangerous place, and there are notorious different like sort of biker gangs is the best way that I can put it. There are raiders and bandits and biker gangs that essentially patrol and live all along No One's Highway. And they periodically go in and menace the villages that live in the desert. Nova West popped up a good couple 100 years ago. It's been around for a while. It popped up as a response to that. It is a city that was built by people who utilized the mythology of the Old West, now maybe even the Ancient West, you might call it now. Mm-hmm. They utilized that mythology to create a place for what they call the sheriffs, who are people who have taken it upon themselves to protect the surrounding villages in the Scorch from the bandits and biker gangs that patrol the area. And they try to do like humanitarian efforts and protect the people in that area that are not represented by Alma by choice. But
and looking at the images, do they aesthetically look like cowboys? Because Troubleshooter was kind of like a different vibe in terms of how she dressed.
There are pieces of it. It's sort of a strange thing. It seems as though they tried to build it up as a symbol in that way, where it's, imagine recreating the aesthetics of the Old West, like saloons and swinging doors, but with the vibe of a very like sort of retro future look. So there's this very chromatic steel, like automatic swinging saloon doors. You see a lot of people, instead of like riding horses, there are people who ride these big bulky motorcycles, not like the hovering kinds, but like actual like old school mechanical fuel powered motorcycles. You know, there are some wide brimmed hats, but it's not like lifted right off of cowboys in a way. It's all just very inspired and futurized.
Okay, gotcha.
Cowboys, but make it chrome.
A little bit.
Tight, okay.
I'd say that's about as much, yeah.
Look at it and shake her head a little bit, but also she's just confused and she puts her phone away.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So it's at about this time that if you're trying to catch up with them, you're able to.
I imagine y'all are just chilling in the front room.
Yeah, maybe we're cooking.
I
don't think Bibi knows how to cook, but she might try.
That's so cute. Yeah, I think like Harriman definitely knows how to cook and knows how to barbecue.
Ooh.
But I don't know, is Silhouette a cook? Oh God.
No.
Oh no.
Can I roll a check on some spaghetti?
Spaghetti check? Oh yeah, okay. Spaghetti check.
Willpower?
Yeah, I love that. Do you have the will to make spaghetti?
I do not.
Oh no.
It is al dente, baby.
Yeah, it's a little raw, and very salty.
Bibi brings it over to Baby and goes, "One baby to another." And she's trying to eat it, and even she can tell it's bad, but she's just You know.
I think Baby Loni's so tired that she's just like, okay. It will eat it, but it's like the plate is on her tummy like an otter,
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's like
She's just very
is
sad.
sad and so tired, and it's just like shoveling it into her mouth, but is half asleep.
That's such a good description, because as soon as you said that, all of us went, oh
yeah.
like we've all felt that exhaustion. I think Silhouette is just eating it. Like nothing's wrong with it.
Oh,
I would
Joe.
say that Baby
Just
Loni
because
can
she's so
cook.
bad at it. Yeah, bad at
I would say
cooking.
that Baby Loni can cook, but only like big family, like big involved family meals. She doesn't know how to do snacks.
I love
So
that.
she's just like,
That cookout mentality of like, we're making it for this many people
Yeah.
and then some.
with all the stuff in it.
Yeah. I think Harmon will come in and see this site and just like go walk up to BB, not very subtly, and be like, can we talk?
Yeah, do you want some spaghetti?
I'll take a bite
Okay.
and then be like, no, I'm not hungry.
That's very
I
respectful. of you.
respect that. Yeah, let's go talk. We go into the training yard.
Sure.
Sure, yeah.
We go.
Do you want
Well-
it the nice way or the frank way?
The frank way.
What's wrong with you? What was that? Sad seance? Are you serious?
Is there more or should I respond?
Oh, I don't know. How about the tone you take when you talk about teatro? How about whatever vibes I was getting off when we were talking to Knock Knock? Whatever that was with Troubleshooter. Why? I don't understand why you're like this, really. It's, to me, disrespectful. All across the board. But especially with what you said to Helix.
All right. Well, one, I truly don't have anything against Teatro, and I apologize for having been rude to him or framing him in such a light that he may be a suspect of these investigations. That truly was not my intention. I truly was just worried because he said that he liked us and we were some of the only people he considered friends, and he wanted us at this party, and then he didn't show up. And I've never had anyone say that to me before. So I was worried about him, and he fell off the face of the earth. Two, I don't know what you're talking about with Knock Knock. I like Knock Knock. I didn't mean to be rude to her. And yeah, maybe that's not an excuse. But I don't know a lot. All I know about your culture is how you fight, how to counter that fighting, and how to fight those big beasts that live around you. I don't know anything about where Helix comes from. And, maybe that's my fault, but I haven't had an opportunity to learn anything about those places. And we're on teams for a reason, right? No one can do this alone. So what makes Helix think that he can? I've learned that the hard way. I know you can't do this alone. That's why I haven't tried to. I'm trying to be a part of this team. But, you know, if Helix can come up with, through meditation, and the answer to this or anything like that, I support him and I will apologize. I mean, you know, I'll apologize anyway. But the one thing I do know is that he had a best friend at the door waiting for him and asked him if he was okay, and he wouldn't open the. Then she covers her mouth. She like hard dropped out of the accent that she had for a second. You want to know something about me? Maybe you don't, but I'm going to tell you. Everything that Troubleshooter said was correct. When I was growing up, neither of my parents were really around. My dad went off and did these missions. I don't know what he was doing, but he'd be gone for months at a time. And my mom was just never there. So I was raised by assistants, nannies, teachers. But whenever my dad would come back, he would show me cowboy movies. There's something that he did with his dad. There's something that his dad did with his dad. It's just a family cycle. And those were the times that I was happy. And whenever we would watch those films, we would play cops and robbers afterwards. And go around just bang, bang, bang. And then one day, bang. And light comes out of my fingers and it hits my dad in the center of his back. And he can't move. And he's lying on the ground. I call the police or the medics, and they fixed him up, but he had a hard time being around me after that. And he didn't get much of an opportunity because my mom pretty much solely took over. But I wouldn't really call what she did parenting. From that point on, I didn't live like a normal child or anybody who normally has powers. I wasn't taught things that people should be taught. I've never been to a party except for the one that we were at a few days ago. So I'm sorry that I'm not at the same level you guys are. I'm sorry that I don't understand things. I'm trying. But I've known Helix for a week and a half. I've known you for maybe 3 weeks. So I'm sorry that we're all not on the same page. I'm trying, but there are other things going on that we need to work together to figure out. Because we allowed our friend to go investigate in a place that we didn't know was safe, and now he's in the hospital. And I don't want that to happen to anyone else, but we just have to stop it. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm aggressive. I'm sorry I don't know how to talk to people. But I'm learning.
Harmon makes that like face of like, I am still mad at you, but I can see you're trying your best, so I can't. Oh, and she just raises her arms slightly for like indicating like if you want a hug right now, it would be okay.
Oh no. Yeah, I think Baby hugs you. She was gonna go in for a handshake, but I think even she can recognize at this moment that she needs to hug you.
And Haramon says into your ear, I've been really struggling with the way Pantheon and anyone else has been reacting to Backtrack. Because to me, nowhere is safe. You go out there, every single time there's a chance you're not coming back. So I refuse to claim what he did or what we did was foolish. Do I accept that we don't know everything, and while I have experience in some areas, I don't in others? Yeah. But that's just how it is. And it's not, to your other points, it's not about not knowing how to talk to people, BB. It's what you said was uncalled for. It was unnecessary. And honestly, it made me feel like if that's something you can say without any context to him about something that's clearly important to him, even though we don't know how or why, how you would talk about me and my culture, and you don't know anything about my culture. You don't.
I don't, and I'll agree with that, but I think as a hero, you save people no matter who they are, no matter where they come from, no matter what they do, and no matter what they believe. You even save people who you know are in the wrong sometimes because the value of human life is worth it. And I think that extends to the people you work with, the heroes you work with. You work with whoever's around you, and we can look. I wouldn't say anything bad about you. I take you as you are. I take Joe as you are, and I'll learn about you as we go. We've only lived together for like 3 days. It's been a tremendously short amount of time that we've been around one another. And during that time, we've all experienced immense amount of trauma or psychological manipulation. I wouldn't say anything bad about a teammate, and I wouldn't say anything bad about your culture. I'll learn about it as we go along, but you can't expect someone who's never had a friend before this to immediately jump to the level of appreciating everyone's culture equally and not reacting poorly when I perceived that he wasn't doing anything. And now I know that's wrong. I know he's doing something, and I'll apologize to him. I would never say anything bad about you or Joe or anyone else. I just think that it's foolish to assume that someone can get all the answers themselves.
How do you know that that's what he was doing?
He said he couldn't find anything looking without, so he looked within. I don't know what that means. That everything we're dealing with, I mean, he didn't hear the voices in the back of his head, right?
He did not. At least he said he didn't.
He didn't even hear the voices in the back of his head. Only Joe and I heard that. That's the only thing within that I'd be willing to investigate, but otherwise, it seems like our world is being damaged rapidly, and it's all coming together because we're on this fucking team. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to abandon this team or leave you guys behind or disrespect you, but bad things are going to start happening. This isn't like an if, this is a when. So do we come out in front of it by working together, or do we lock ourselves in our room and let the FCS take care of it? And especially because he was the only one who saw what we saw, truly. He was the only one who interacted with those shadow monster things. Why wouldn't he want to speak to us? Why wouldn't he want to work together with us to find out what's happening? I'm sorry. I don't know what else I can do besides say I'm sorry and change my behavior. But if you're expecting that all to happen in an instant, it's not. I can understand that you are uncomfortable. You have never been to a city before. I've never been outside of this city. And I think we landed on the best team we possibly could have. But that doesn't mean we aren't going to have hard work to do.
I would just advise to, if you have any similar sentiments in the future, to keep them to yourself.
Yeah, that's a really good. Sure. I mean, yes. Sure.
Because I am still mad at you.
Okay.
This
cool.
hug does not change that.
I also just told you something that I've never told anyone else. So I guess that doesn't matter for shit. So we can just go back in now if you want.
Fine.
Sweet. BB goes in and goes to bed.
Aramone packs up, goes back to Team Tonitrus.
And you sleep in an immaculate, well-constructed blanket and pillow fort around a couch. Kind of feels like a room that they had made.
Nice.
Like fairy lights.
Yeah, that seems like something QuickTime would do, for sure. Silhouette, anything?
You can come to BB's door if you want. She would answer.
I need to make myself taller. There we go.
Would Silhouette or Baby Loni have heard like any of that?
I don't think so, because you went outside and closed the door.
Unless
you
guys,
were trying to.
Yeah, unless you guys creeped up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I would say I'd probably come out later and try to find you, Silhouette.
Okay,
In the house.
I'm chilling with Baby Loni. Baby Loni, are you like what's going on? Are you passed out?
I think in the time that they were saying that, I would have gotten some comfy sleep clothes from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I'd be like posted up on the couch. I would probably ask like you don't use your powers that often, and they seem really good at investigative powers.
Yeah, that's true. I guess just being around other people who also have powers, for some reason it feels nice to be seen for now, but I use them when I need to, and like when we did go with Backtrack to the house, I did use my powers, but I don't ever want to use them for nothing. You know? I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of what it's like. So, you know, just whenever it's needed.
Oh. My
'Cause-
powers don't really work that way. They just sort of happen sometimes. So that must be nice.
Baby Loni's powers, we don't, like, have we fully seen them?
The most that you saw them was when she accidentally made the toy robot fly across the room.
Right. Okay. Okay, well then, in that case, I mean, I know you investigate, but how do your powers, like, play into that? We did have that little thing with the robot. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, that sucked. My powers are sort of like energy, you know? She's so tired. Some stuff has a potential to do something, to go somewhere. I can take that and use that, or I can put that into something. You know what I mean? That makes sense?
I can imagine it.
Well, I'm gonna try it. That's a double success.
Yes.
What am I holding? Am I still holding the plate and like the fork or whatever?
Yeah, did you also roll a d12 with it too?
Oh,
Your D12s?
a D12. Okay.
Oh my god, I'm so fucking excited.
Which one of these is a 12? I should have gotten this out.
I feel that.
Okay. I got an 11 and a 9.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a big success. So where are you taking the energy from, and where are you putting it?
I could like take the energy from, like, maybe I grab onto Silhouette's arm.
Okay.
And maybe I take like a little bit of energy from Silhouette and put it into the plate.
Okay.
Because she's tired, her judgment level's low.
So, Silhouette, you feel your energy just be kind of drained a little bit. If you want to try and resist the effect, you can roll a Constitution check if you want to, or if you want to just like let it happen, you can just let it happen.
I think it catches me by surprise, so it happens.
Okay. So you feel this strange feeling, almost like falling off a chair, but on the inside, where your energy just jumps out of your body and you're like drained and lethargic. Everything feels heavy and slow. You feel like how Baby Loni looks right now, you know? Like,
That's
Well, then I imagine something would happen to the plate. Like, I
Yeah.
imagine, like,
yeah.
so you have some choices for this, Jade. It can just fucking shatter if you want to, because the amount of success that you did, and because she just let it happen and didn't resist it at all, the full effect of it can happen, or it'll just like fly across the room or something.
I think it might like fly like off of her tummy.
Okay.
And she's like, whoops. Like,
So this plate just starts like, just vibrating furiously, and in an instant, it rockets off in a random direction and shatters against the opposite wall, which is a good like several feet away.
sorry. I can do it the opposite direction too. I can put the energy in. But
How fast am I still like depleted of energy, or like is it just like an instantaneous thing of like it's shattered and now it's back?
So it's shattered and the energy goes, but it doesn't like come back into you, if that's what you're saying. You remain drained a little bit. If we were going to do something mechanically, the actual effects of that would come into play. For the time being, you're just aware that you're very, very tired.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, this kind of feels like when I wake up from a nap. Is this how how it always happens?
I mean, yeah, I don't know that I did. I mean, I try not to do too much, but yeah, that's what it's like.
I would assume I look just like Baby Loni now. Right? And I'm just like, we're both just like on the couch or whatever.
If you ever too hopped up and I was like, if you ever like, sometimes like, if you ever like too hopped up and you really need to go to sleep and need a nap, but yeah. Sorry, you were about to comment.
Oh, no. So Bibi comes back into the room. She looks down at the broken plate, then looks at you guys and goes, "Oh, is that bad, huh?" And then she starts picking up the pieces of broken plate. No, it's okay. I can. No. Oh, is that a hug? Oh, I'm getting a lot of hugs tonight. I'll go for a hug. I'll keep picking up the piece of the plate and say, "Look, so Haramon's not staying here because..."
You're saying this from crushed into Baby Loni.
Well, Haramon's not staying here because I said the thing I said to Helix was apparently too offensive to ever recover from. So I'm sorry that you guys had to hear that. I'm sorry that I said it, and I will go apologize to Helix tomorrow.
Silhouette is just kind of like, what are you talking about? That plate was for fun.
I think that is a wonderful note. Unless Eric, you're going to respond to that and just sort of
perfect
into this night as one by one, each of you finds yourselves to sleep, waking the next morning at your leisure, knowing that Team Pantheon, you guys don't have any specific training. You guys are focused on this. And Loni, Blackout has actually given you guys a few days off, given the circumstances, while Backtrack is recovering. So you're in the clear too. So you guys now have day 2 of investigation. It is now Tuesday. So you've all woken up. It is Tuesday, day 2 of investigation, should you so choose. It sounds like you guys already had a plan as to who you wanted to talk to today, right?
Yeah. Poltergeist, right?
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
do it.
So how do you guys want to go about trying to figure out where he is?
What team is he on?
He is on Combio's team.
Combio, right.
You do know one person on Combio's team.
I don't think we have Knock Knock's digits, though, do we?
Knock Knock?
No.
Did she even have a phone?
Yeah.
Wait, why are we talking to Poltergeist again? I mean, not that I don't want to, obviously, but like...
Because he was...
He wasn't at the party, but he was being interviewed.
Yeah,
right.
And then also he's been like in the room
With Backtrack.
observing Backtrack while the other telepath was like looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Were we going to like see like what he knows about what happened to Backtrack or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what I interpreted from what you guys were talking about, and I'm all on board with that plan.
Okay.
If you guys, how would you guys go about trying to find him?
I would probably text Team Prestige and be like
the go-to,
and just be like, "Hey, y'all got Knock Knock's number or Poltergeist?"
Yeah. Menagerie would probably tell you like, no. I mean, they don't really spend any time with us. not necessarily for lack of trying on our part. I think we just have very different interests. Sorry.
Do we know where their dorm is? Sorry.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, their dorm is on they're not in our street. They're in the regular dorms, like around your guys' ones, because you guys didn't take the fancy ones on that street either, right? You guys are in like a more standard sized one.
I think so.
So he says they're in a more standard issue. They neglected to or not neglected, they rejected the idea of going to the larger ones for one reason or another. So team prestige doesn't seem to know where
Can I look at the online schedule of training and see if they're scheduled right now anywhere?
Can we not just go to their dorm?
We can. I just thought it'd be something to do as we walk, just to make sure that they're not in the one place we could also check that they are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think Baby Loni would have gone to her house really quick, like brushed her teeth, put on a new outfit, and then has come back and and checked in with Hecate. Are you okay? Look, I'm alive. Are you alive? And Hecate's like, still asleep.
Yeah.
What's the fit?
Oh, okay, so here's what it is. She's got a little pink blazer, and then like a little, like a little white sort of like pleated schoolgirl skirt, and then like slouchy yellow socks and pink flats, and then she's got a little white sailor hat.
First off, how dare you? Dang, that's a good fit.
Oops, all hotties.
Oops, all hotties.
That's a super cute outfit.
BB will text Harriman and say, we're trying to track down Poltergeist if you want in. We're going to probably swing by their dorms if we can find them.
Yeah, Harriman will probably insisted on repaying Team Tantra somehow, like making them food or something, and they were like, nah dude, don't worry about it. So Harriman will leave on like the kitchen island counter thing just a little note that thanks them with like B, Q, I, V, H and arrows pointing up to 4 little vials on the counter, and then show up like nothing happened last night. Just like, hey guys, I'm ready to go.
I think, I was just going to say that, like, as we start on our investigation, Baby Loni says something that, like, Blackout would say, like, something really encouraging. like, all right, everyone, we start a day with looking at all the problems with fresh eyes. Today will be better.
Oh my god, that is something he would say too. So you guys,
that's so good.
You guys head over to the dorm houses, which are essentially, you're already there, basically, like kind of this couple of streets here. You head over and you kind of ask around, and you figure out what door to knock on. You go and, I assume, do that.
We go and we knock.
The door kind of opens a crack, and this face kind of half looks through, and you see this very round, blushy face of a man that you probably haven't met yet. He's got kind of a scruffy beard and long, kind of shoulder-length, wavy, dirty blonde hair. And you just see his face, and he goes, hello?
Hi there. We're Team Pantheon with Baby Loni as well.
You are, aren't you?
Yeah. We were hoping to talk to Poltergeist if he's in. Sorry to barge in at such a random hour of the morning.
No, it's all right. We're on a little break at the moment. Hey, hold on. Let me. You see, he closes the door, and you hear the chain kind of. The door opens all the way, and you see this kind of pudgy young man with sort of rounded, broad shoulders, He's wearing this loose-fitting tank top and shorts on. He's got sandals on. And the thing that stands out most about this guy is that all of his skin that's showing, except for his face, is just covered in tattoos, mostly of like different line art and patterns. But then you also see like different insects and animals all over his arms and legs and chest.
What's your name?
He goes, "Oh, sorry, how rude of me. I'm Canvas. And you're all,
I'm BB," and she shakes his hand.
Good to meet you, yeah. He takes it in a very, like, sort of that awkward dead fish kind of handshake where he's like, eh. And he does. He goes, eh. Yeah, it's, good to meet all of you. I'm sorry, you kind of missed him. We're taking a little break. Our training's starting a little later today, and, I think last I checked, I think Poltergeist and Knock Knock were on their way to the quad to have a little spot of lunch before the hard work begins.
All right, thanks. We'll head over there. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Looking forward to working with you to whatever degree we end up working together.
Right back at you. I see you later.
Adios.
Got the kettle on. And he closes the door. So you guys, well, now you've met Canvas. And you head to the quad area, that sort of communal food court sort of area with all of these different restaurants that spill out into this square with seating in between. I'm sure you guys have seen a similar place before with like the seats with the umbrellas and the circular tables and the chairs with like the built-in benches, and people are coming out of all the different places carrying trays of food from different restaurants and all sitting together and convening. And it's about that time that people are generally like on break from their classes or just sort of kind of meeting in between classes or training sessions. And you scan around the area. I'm going to ask somebody to make a perception check.
I'm good
Probably
at that.
you, yeah.
Wow. That's willpower, right?
Yeah, will or intelligence. I think for you it's will.
Can baby roll as well, since
Sure.
they're probably perceptive?
That's 4 out of 3.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
My eagle eyes
Ooh.
see real good.
Loni, where you at?
Oh. Perception's low.
Oh no.
Oh,
Not
no.
quite awake yet.
So you're kind of squinting into the sunlight, trying to look under the umbrellas and see, but it's crowded. People are moving in and out. It's kind of a busy time, like early lunchtime right now. And but Haramon, you zero in. You know what to look for, and you lock eyes with those big old eyes of Knock Knocks. So in the drawings I sent you, Jade, Knock Knock is the one with the big sweater and the huge eyes and the long stringy hair. She looks a little bit younger, maybe 18 or 19. And she's sitting there across the table from Poltergeist. The two of them have some food. She's just got this pile of French fries in front of her. And Poltergeist has just maybe a nice looking sandwich. And the two of them are playing cards. And Poltergeist is, he's wearing his trademark sort of blue tight-fitting sweater with the sleeves rolled up. You see this very handsome, very chiseled guy of about like 23 maybe. He has thick black hair that's slicked back against his head, very quizzical look on his face most of the time. And he's sitting there kind of looking at his cards. And he plays a card, and Knock Knock just smiles really big. And she plays a card herself. She looks over and she sees you looking right at her. And her eyes get really big and she smiles and she waves you over. And she drops a couple of her cards. She goes, and she picks the cards up.
Oh my god.
Hey, Knock Knock, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. I wasn't exactly expecting to have company on our privately public card game, but you're very welcome. And Poltergeist just kind of crosses his arms for a moment and he looks at you guys, and it's this sort of neutral expression that he has, and he looks back at Knock Knock, and she goes, "Oh, Poltergeist, it's okay. These are my friends. Yeah, this is Pew Pew, Hair Pun, and Cargo Pants. I don't know you yet,
We haven't met. Oh,
but you like Harvey Hair, so we can be friends if you want.
I've ascended.
she Loni has a moment too. Like is cool, freaks out, and then is cool again. Brings it back in. It's like, oh, we're gonna be best friends.
Okay.
Well, we're sorry to bother you. We actually wanted to ask Poltergeist a query or two, if he's open to it.
He just kind of like puts his sandwich down, and scoots in his chair, and he goes, "Yeah. Do you need privacy for this conversation, or
Do we need privacy for this conversation? What do you guys say?
Yeah.
Sure.
Wait, the person who's with us is Knock Knock, Poltergeist, and who's the other person?
That's it. I think.
That's it.
That's it.
Just those two.
Okay.
They're just sitting there playing cards?"
I thought for
Other
some reason
homeboys
it
stayed
said
at the apartment.
I guess we would need privacy, right? I don't know.
Mhm.
I like to imagine that we could trust Knock Knock.
Well, we are out in the open, is the thing.
Yeah.
In
There's
the middle of
not-
a lunch rush.
As private as places can be, I feel like that if we speak quietly, we might be able to get through this without being noticed.
Okay.
I
Unless you
don't
have
agree,
a better.
but
Oh, okay. Well, where would you like to go?
I don't know. Where is good for you, Poltergeist?
We can go into the lounge and find I don't know. What is this about exactly?
Oh, sorry.
The boy in the coma.
My
Oh.
teammate Backtrack.
Oh, right. Baby Loni, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you just kind of see the gears turning, and he's, he stands up. He looks over to Knock Knock, and he goes, "Don't look at my cards. I'll be back in 5 minutes." And she goes, "I won't look at your cards if you don't read my mind." She sticks her tongue out at him.
Oh my god, I love her.
Baby will throw Knock Knock her number.
So will Baby Loni. Just like, we should talk later. You want to watch cartoons? We should watch cartoons.
Okay, do you have the one where he builds a house out of carrots and then it falls on him, but somehow he survives?
I don't have it, but I would love to watch it.
Okay, I'll write it down. Poltergeist, give me a pencil. He gives her a pencil out of his backpack, and then he kind of walks you guys away from the area as you just hear her giggling to herself as she just starts drawing, not writing anything down at all.
That kid gets it.
Icon.
I love her. I'm like, we'll be right back, Knock Knock, and then walk with the group.
So he'll bring you inside, and he kind of takes you alongside the food court area indoors to the indoor seating area, and then he kind of walks downstairs into this almost like gaming sort of a lounge. Like there are arcade games set up. There's like a pool table. There's some kind of crazy like holographic Millennium Falcon checker table type shit going on. And he brings you into this kind of quiet alcove, and he sits down on one side of the bench, but he sits in the middle of it so as to like try and take up all the space. And he puts his elbows down on the table and he interlaces his fingers in front of his nose. He goes, "So this is about Backtrack, you said?"
Yeah. I've been so worried about him, and just everything. I've been trying to figure out what happened to him exactly. And I know you were helping out with the other folks who were taking a look at his brain.
I was trying to. His condition was unique, but maybe not as unique as one might think. I've been working closely with Dr. Mary I don't know if any of you have met her yet, but she's close with Cambio, and he often recommends that I study with her, spend some time with her. She's a very powerful telepath, but she's not exactly in the hero business. Her specialty is psychology. She works on the hospital wing and as a counselor at times. When someone is admitted to the medical wing with various psychic power-related afflictions, she's generally the person that's called. And when she began her work, she contacted Cambio, and he recommended that I stay nearby and observe, maybe help here and there if I can, but I don't have nearly the power level that she does. I'm primarily telekinetic. My telepathy is only really in its nascent stage at the moment, but I digress. He kind of scratches the underside of his jaw purposefully, and he cocks his eyebrow as he's sort of looking for the right thought. And he puts his hand back down and he goes, "You want to know what we found?"
Yes.
Right. And this wouldn't have anything to do with whispers of investigation, would it?
I want to know what happened to my teammate.
Of course. I don't particularly want to be accessory to any particular rule breaking, but you do have a right to know, and it's going to come out one way or another. There's a fine ethical line to be walked in a situation like this. People with psychic abilities, those of us who at least attempt to hold ourselves to some sort of ethical standard, there's difficulty. We need to get to the bottom of what happened to him, with him, without invading the privacy of his mind, without his consent, which admittedly can be difficult. I don't really have that level of control. Dr. Mary, on the other hand, turned up some rather fruitful information, and she was able to determine that whatever affected him was some sort of, have any of you ever heard the term psychic warding?
No.
Would I have?
Maybe. It might stick out in the back of your mind if you've studied people with telepathic powers. It's very rare.
May have come up at some point.
Psychic warding is a rare subcategory of psychic ability. There are only a few recorded, properly studied cases. It generally occurs when someone has the ability to, whether passively or actively, but generally passively, reject being perceived by any extrasensory means. These people can manifest this power through being shielded against any probes into their mind, people being unable to read their minds or their thoughts. In Backtrack's case, he seems to be affected by seeing someone or something that had a passive psychic warding. See, a person's mental state, their memory, it has a certain flow to it, a cadence, a rhythm. In cases where someone has been affected by something passive, that cadence skips. It creates a sort of bump in the road of their mind. But the information isn't missing. His memory is intact, but there's an attached feedback loop. Whoever did this might not have even known they were doing it. There are cases...
Sort of like a heart attack in the brain? Like his heart stopped, but it's in the brain?
Something like that. the psychic energy of this individual, if we are assuming this was one individual, created a sort of passive backlash against Backtrack using his ability to see him. And Backtrack did use his ability to see this person, did he not?
He did.
Did he say anything that night?
All we really got was that the person he saw was a man.
So he did see someone.
He did.
So what you're saying is there's someone who has an ability to not be perceived psychically, but through the sort of loophole of Backtrack's powers, he did see him? And that blew a gasket.
Backtrack's powers aren't exactly psychic per se, but they're in the category. Generally, this person would just not be able to be perceived. What happened to Backtrack, it doesn't track with what's on file for the way that his power can backfire sometimes, if he looks back farther than 24 hours. My understanding is he was only looking back a few hours, so it wasn't within the confines of his own power that he was injured. Whoever he saw, he perceived, and the memory is intact. Myself and Dr. Mary made the executive decision that his condition was stable enough not to necessitate prying any further into his memory without his consent, at least not until he awoke and we could ask him if that's what he wanted to do.
Awoke? Is he awake?
Not yet.
Oh.
He will be soon. Dr. Mary believes that his memory is fully intact. He remembers what he saw. So instead of simply erasing himself from Backtrack's mind, this man, this mysterious figure, instead created a sort of feedback, a spike in his mind, resulting from perceiving something that by all accounts he should not have been able to. The sensory overload, it was too much for him to take. I guess the question now is, did this person mean to do this or not?
Do you think there'd be a way for him to ward himself against that in the future if he's ever looking back at a situation?
I have no idea.
Thank you so much. I've been so worried, and that's a lot of hope.
You care a lot about your friend. I appreciate that. Fair warning to you three. There are lingering questions, and there will continue to be. I try to be objective in pretty much every area that I can. And people are talking a lot. No one really knows what happened that night. They only know that you were the ones who brought him in. Backtrack is, shall we say, an insufferable hothead. So I wouldn't be surprised to learn that he went in and tried to investigate himself. Admirable in a stupid kind of way.
Oh, stupid.
Hermione just makes eye contact with Baby.
People are going to want to know if you helped him. You don't have to tell me, obviously. It's not my business, and frankly, the less I know, the less I have to lie if I'm asked.
Well, I think there's only one of us who we could say actually genuinely helped him. Out of curiosity, you weren't at the party, right?
No, I wasn't.
So why were you being interviewed by Detective Asher?
Asher was, to my understanding, interviewing every member of a Nova Squad team.
Okay. That makes sense.
She asked me if I had seen anyone suspicious, anyone unfamiliar lingering around campus, any of the houses. Asked if I knew anyone who had any reason to hold a grudge against Menagerie's team or against any one of us. That was about as far as it went. She did seem to imply the question of whether or not I used my powers to gain any further insight.
Does that bump up into your whole consent deal?
She didn't ask me to do anything, if that's what you're asking. She just asked if I had already.
Oh, not that. It's just revealing whether or not you had, or revealing anything you knew in that capacity.
On the subject of consent, that would have been violated if I had done the deed already. That's not even factoring in telling anyone if I had.
I guess I wasn't sure how deliberate your power was.
Fairly
Something you
deliberate.
turn off or on. Oh, okay. It's okay if that's personal.
It is very, but it's also kind of public, so it's not a he just kind of scratches at his wrist again, like you saw him do that first time, and he flexes his fingers back and forth. He goes, and then he laces his fingers back together again, sort of centers himself, and he goes, there are circumstances when my power has manifested in a way that was difficult to control. But as I said before, I'm primarily telekinetic, and that's where the bulk of my abilities lie. So I don't generally read people's minds by accident.
Noted.
If you ever, have something accidentally fly at your head while I'm sleeping, that's something else.
I know how that goes.
Do we have any other questions? Harmon, Joe, Baby? I can't think of any.
No.
Well, we thank you for your time and information.
Thank you for an interesting conversation. I need to get back before Knock Knock eats my sandwich. Excuse me. He stands up. He nods. He sort of looks both ways. And then he just starts walking very deliberately away. He scratches at the back of his head just once, and then puts his thumbs in his pockets.
Baby Loni's looking around you like, what's this guy who can read minds is
cryptic.
doing? Yeah. Is that intelligence or is that willpower? Trying to notice whatever he's seemed to mysteriously look around at.
Yeah, I think it could be either. Intelligence would be more just literally looking for the stuff, whereas I think willpower is more trying to gauge intention.
Oh, okay. I think I'm going to go intelligence.
Okay.
That is 1 success, 2 failures.
Success. It's difficult to tell. There was something about the movement that seemed almost automatic and reflexive. You're not really sure what it was about.
Okay, that's just the thing he does. All right.
Well, I think that is the entire list of suspects that we had to go. Oh, what?
I need to text Hecate. Because it sounded like there was an implication that Backtrack could still know something. And if he's going to be waking up soon, I don't know if somebody's coming after him. So I think somebody should maybe watch him.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Like, I mean, obviously, you know, hospital, but hospitals are really easy to walk into.
They are.
So I'm gonna text Hecate.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna call her because she's asleep, probably.
Yep.
Still, who knows? I'm just gonna call her and be like, "Hey, can you?"
Yeah.
No, I know.
Can I help you?
Oh, yeah. So I just got a lot of information about what happened to Backtrack. Short version is, he may have seen something he shouldn't, and that's what spiked his brain.
Gee, that was
Yeah,
my sound of surprise.
yeah, for
Not
sure.
remotely surprised.
Yeah, but the thing that he shouldn't have seen was a person, and we don't know if. And he did see their face, but this person has some sort of psychic ability to make themselves be imperceptible, which, you know, really scrambled his brain. I don't know if somebody's going to come back for him because apparently he's going to wake up soon. Yay. But I don't know if somebody's going to come back and try to, I don't know, re-scramble his brain. You know what I mean?
Well, we are on a campus with several of the most powerful beings in the known world. So I have a feeling that he'll probably be fine.
I mean, counterpoint. We are on a campus with some of the most powerful people in the world. Anything could happen, and anything did. I'm just sorry that had an aggressive tone, and I just mean I'd feel so much better if, pretty please, you went and just made sure he was okay.
Fine.
All right, well, okay. How are you?
Tired. Beep.
She sends back a text like a little like a three like bracket heart. Like,
Love it.
Okay. So for the sake of the sake, we can yada yada through the rest of this day. If there's anything else specific, any little things that you guys want to do, otherwise I will fast forward us to the next day.
I'll run over to the Tonitress's team house really quick.
Okay.
I'll knock on the front door.
Yeah, Ivy answers the door.
Hey, Ivy, could I go talk to Helix or his door real quick?
Yeah, you're gonna have to be quick though. We're heading back to training. We just had our lunch break.
Oh, yeah, it'll take but a moment.
Sure.
So I go up. I knock on his door.
Okay. He opens it, and you see that he's wearing kind of workout clothes at the moment. He's got a black tank top on, similar to what he was wearing yesterday. Just sort of black athletic pants. His hair is tied back in a ponytail right now, but it's kind of hard to control because his hair is just fucking crazy. So there are like strands that are just out and loose. He looks more well-rested than he did yesterday. Yesterday, he looked very much like a man who had not slept. Today, he looks okay. He opens the door and he looks at you and he goes, "Oh, hey."
Hey, man, I know you're heading out to training, but Hermone took me aside last night and enlightened me that what I said to you about your meditation was insensitive. And that is probably a generous way to phrase it. Some would say rude. And so I wanted to let you know that I apologize and I am sorry. I just have tried to muscle my way to a solution by myself before. That hasn't worked for me. And it seemed like you were doing something similar. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Honestly, I wasn't really looking for an apology. I keep to myself. for my own reasons. Primarily, as your friend Silhouette might be able to tell you, this wasn't something that really should have involved anyone, and it could be argued that I shouldn't have opened the door at all.
Fair enough. I mean, I just wanted to apologize for what I said. And just, if your best friend is trying to get you to respond and talk to him, do it. I just want to know you're okay.
I'm okay. I was, there are a few things that I brought with me here. They help put things into perspective, give me clarity of thought for how to handle things. But the last thing I want to do is give you the impression that I'm trying to investigate this on my own. I'm not. I had some things to sort out, and when I need to look for answers, this is the way that I do it. I don't need you to understand that. I don't really need anyone to understand that. Again, I do appreciate the apology. I do. I just... Maybe next time if you smell smoke coming from my room, don't try it. That stuff, I've had years to... I don't need to go into it. It's dangerous if you're not used to it.
Yeah. I heard that from Silhouette.
Is she all right?
Yeah, she's fine. She was a little tired last night. Plate of spaghetti got broke, but that's behind us. We don't need to dwell on that. But yeah, I hope to work with you in the future and learn more about you. And I hope you have a good training session. And then she just turns around and walks away.
Oh my god.
She runs down the stairs.
Yeah. You didn't roll for anything like this, so I'm not going to go super into detail, but his demeanor, everything about him was very different than it was last night when you guys barged in.
Cool.
Yeah.
She waves bye to Ivy as she runs out the door.
Okay.
Your little spurs on the stairs.
Yeah.
I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle.
Anything else for this particular day before we go to tomorrow?
After that happens, Harmon will do a little follow-up with BB somewhere.
All right.
Again. And she'll just be like, hey.
What's up? I just wanted to apologize to Helix, so you know.
Oh, cool.
That's why I'm sweating. I just spit all over my microphone, and in my mind, BB also accidentally spits on you. I'm so sorry.
It went well.
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal. He cared, but it wasn't earth-shattering for him.
Cool. I just wanted to apologize. I don't want you to think that I don't take into account or appreciate how hard telling me what you told me last night must have been. It's just where I was at was not ready to receive something so heavy, and I was rude to you and kind. But I'm glad that you want to learn. I won't say I'll teach you, but I'm glad I can. I don't know how to make friends my age. All of my friends are adults with a capital A. But at least I can try to guide you in the right direction.
Well,
Maybe you can teach me something too.
I don't know how to make friends of any age, so we're in the same boat as much as we can be. Look, I get that you've come from a place that's super far away and all of this is new to you. I grew up here, but I can't say that I'm familiar with this environment of being around people my own age or people who aren't, I don't know, look, what I'm just trying to say is that at this point, the only people we have are each other and Joe. That's it. I don't think we can trust Pantheon. We have friends, but in terms of what is functionally our family, we are all we have. So we can't let ourselves get divided during a time. And I mean, there was a good reason to be divided. I know, I understand that, but we got to stick together because something's gonna happen. And it seems to be clearly focused around us. This time, BB will hold out a hand to shake, but it's warm. It's not. It is the equivalent of a hug, but we've come to an understanding.
Mm-hmm. Haramon will do the like brother thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty strong note. Do you guys feel comfortable sort of doing to the next day?
Let's do it.
Two more things.
I would say that while that's all happening,
Mhm.
Baby Loni's looking up. We talked about someone named Amy Magden.
Yes.
Last time.
She was the journalist.
She was the
right?
journalist who wrote the
article.
final article.
Yeah, she has a family and she has a daughter.
Yeah.
You said, and I think
And we
Baby Loni
know
was-
where she lives.
yeah,
You know her last known address and that it hasn't changed hands, at least not on paper, according
And
to
it's
Wi-Fi.
in Amberley.
In
right?
Amberley, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, I think Baby Loni's diving into that.
Into
It
just researching
like,
about.
Yeah, just researching.
Sure.
Yeah.
So if you spend the majority of the day doing this, I won't really make you roll for it because if you put in like the time, not a lot else is really going to happen today unless there's something specific. So you can take the time and just forego the roll, or you can try to do it quickly all at once and then do other stuff.
Yeah, because we don't really have anything else planned for today.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So you just take the time and you dive into it. So you research. She wrote. She was very prominent, like in that town, and it's a strange vibe because it is technically an Alma adjacent place. Amberley does answer to Alma. It is affiliated, but it's a very small town. It's a coastal town, a stone's throw from the coast, at least. Their main business is transportation to the other islands, and like scenic sort of boat rides and things is where the economy of that place kind of runs on. There's also a lot of like good fishing stuff there. It's a very small, very quiet community where no really big, scary headlines have ever happened until that. So by all accounts, it should have been a bigger story that this happened. But again, there's no reference to the family. There are no pictures of who they were. There are no interviews with the neighbors, though there are neighboring houses to that place. And you asked about social media last time, and you really, I mean, that's a difficult thing to go in and look at people's social media posts that far back in a faraway town like that. But at least with this amount of research taking the day, you really don't see any chatter about it. There's really not much there to look at, but you get more of a sense of what this town is. And in terms of on the map, like the first city, the other two islands, they're kind of up from the island that you guys are on, that the Moonlight Academy is on, and they form sort of like an upside down triangle. The island up and to the left is sort of Alma headquarter area, and that's the island that is closer to where this place is on the coast. The other island, more on the right side of the triangle, is the nature preserve.
Sick.
3 things, really fast, flavored text things.
Uh-huh.
1, Harmon goes, finds Silhouette, and wrangles BB into doing a group hug.
Mhm.
Second thing, Harmon goes back to Backtrack, and if anyone is there, we'll see Harmon place that same charm back on his heart and sing a little lullaby before taking that charm off of his heart and placing it on the bedside.
Mhm.
Whatever. Third thing, Harmon goes back to Team Tonitrus's house to sleep one more night because it was so comfortable.
Okay.
Just one more
I think,
time.
Baby Loni would ask you like, so what's that about? The charm. What's this about? What's this?
Oh, well, in my culture, we have little charms, star charms, we call them, and each one of them correlates to a specific constellation, and each one corresponds to a specific sort of vibe, I guess. This one, and she'll like point. If there's like the window, and it's like the right sort of like orientation of the sky or whatever, she'll like point to where the constellation would be. This one is protection, and I take it with me every time I go out on a hunt. But he needs it more than I do right now.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
I imagine Joe and Baby at night are playing either cards, Seen It, or the equivalent of Heads Up. Or all 3.
Or Guess Who, but it's like customized with like the students.
Absolutely.
Oh my god, or Guess Who, but it's customized with like previous like famous superheroes.
Ooh, Joe would
I'd
probably
beat
have
your
that.
ass.
Yep.
I think Baby Loni would like let Hecate go home, and then I think she would just stay at the hospital and like sleep in a chair. Like,
Sweet angel.
Okay, so you sleep there.
mhm.
Early the next morning, Baby Loni, you wake up to sort of like beeping, like sensor sounds. You're not sure what time it is, but as your eyes open, you hear just kind of like, ow.
She like lunges out of the chair, her legs like half asleep, and like trips to the bed and just like grabs his hand. And is like,
Ow, oh god. Loni, hey.
oh my god, Backtrack!
Oh, he looks like the sides of his head are always shaved. They've grown out a few days. His beard is kind of a mess. He's got this like red sort of patchy beard now, and he's like, but it's not patchy. It's more of a beard than he usually has. And he's like, Loni, I need to ask you a very specific favor.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please bring me my pants? Seriously, this is so unflattering and uncomfortable, and people are gonna come see me.
You look rough, my man.
Yeah, I don't need to be reminded of that. Thank you very much for those words of encouragement.
I feel like she would have brought clothes, like she would have like headed home and like brought clothes like in a bag.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd be like, I already got you.
Okay.
But also, hey, I've been racing around like everywhere, just all around the shop, trying to figure out what happened to you.
Really?
Yes.
That's nice. Oh God, I'm so tired. What? How long is it? What
Yeah.
day is it?
It's what, 2 days later?
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
My
It's-
dude.
It's wow.
You got brain spiked by some kind of, as far as they know, some psychic guy was warded up the wazoo, and you and your powers looked at him at, you know, what should not be looked, and it just absolutely just sunny side up your brain.
His shit-eating expression just sort of falls, and all the color in his rosy face just sort of flushes out, and his jaw clenches. He goes, I'm well aware of what happened. When they find out I woke up, it's going to be a circus. I need those 3.
Can get them. But do you want to tell me what happened?
We are in a hospital.
Oh, can you hear it? The sneezing?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I mean, I'll call them, but
I will, but
I'm texting them like, he's awake.
it's bad, Loni. It's bad, and I don't know what to do.
Oh
and
boy.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if we should do. It's really confusing, and I've been asleep for 3 days. This is so fucked, and I'm not wearing pants.
I brought pants.
He gets up and he takes the pants and he puts them on. He's wearing this gown, this like oversized gown, and as he stands up, you see the charm isn't on him, right? It's on the
Yeah, it's on
side.
like whatever is the bedside thing. Yeah.
He gets up, he pulls his pants on, and then he starts to pull up the gown, and he looks back at you, and he cocks an eyebrow, and he's like, well, you're not going to turn around?
I've seen you without pants.
He takes the gown off, and he puts his shirt on, and he kind of stretches into it. At this point, the nurses start coming in and examining him. They like have him sit down, and they start checking things. You see somebody is calling blackout, and he looks over at the sort of side table, and he sees the charm, and he puts his hand on it, and he picks it up off the table, and he just looks at it for a moment, and he clutches it tightly in his hand, and he looks back up at you, and he goes, please call them.
I did. Harmon left that for you. Apparently it's something from the Titan Wilds. It offers protection.
Thanks, Lonnie. I do not deserve you.
No, you don't.
Does anyone really deserve Baby Loni?
It is so early.
You should also probably stay sitting down because you have been asleep for 3 days or so. But they are on the way.
Okay. You got the message comes through for all of you that Backtrack is awake.
Paramount bolts up out of bed, more sloppily leaves a second note that essentially says what the first note says, and another set of 4 vials, but have different scents than the other ones, just in case they didn't like the first set of scents, just covering all the bases, and books it. Maybe slams the front door a little bit to alert that, like, the front door is now unlocked. Right. But yeah, she be running.
Natasha, can we wake up face down on the Guess Who board with pieces attached to our face? We fell asleep doing that.
Yes, I love that. We like, my face like gets up and it's just like smack on like my cheek, and I'm like, I grab my phone, and I'm like, he's awake.
Oh, we gotta go get a Go Mackerel bar and let's go.
I get up and I immediately put my skates on, and I'm like waiting for like BB out the like.
I put my shoes on and I guess I'm going to sprint next to you.
Can you use your spurs as Heelys?
Hell yeah.
What if the one of the ones that was stuck on Joe's face was the Moon Rider?
Oh my god. I love.
You guys arrive at the medical wing. You make your way to his room, and you see through the the window that is not shaded at the moment, Backtrack sitting up with a little more of a full beard than he usually has, his hair grown out a little bit, and you see that Blackout and Hecate are both in the room now, and they're talking to him and joking. And as you open the door and step inside, Blackout nods to you, Loni. He puts his hand on Backtrack's shoulder. He goes, "Glad to see you up and running." And as he walks by you guys, Hecate sort of trailing behind as well, he stops in front of all four of you. And he just smiles very genuinely, this sort of lopsided grin that he has. And he's lucky to have good friends like you. I think anyone would be. And then he looks specifically to Loni and he goes, "Good work." Hecate just sort of goes, and they step out. They step out, leaving you guys alone with Backtrack. He's just sort of man spread out.
They me too. They me too. I also leave.
No, you're still here. If you want to still be here, you are still here.
Okay.
Yeah, they step out to kind of leave you guys alone. Backtrack is sitting there, and then he gets down on his feet. And he goes, "I hear there's been quite a lot of work done on my behalf from you guys. I appreciate that."
Yeah, we got a lot of information, but it really doesn't seem to tie anything together, so we're anxious to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, how's it feel to be awake?
You know, it's weird how sleeping for 3 days, you come out of it feeling rested. I'm maybe a little sore from, lying on my ass for 3 days, but I'm good. I feel strong. I can, I'm not dead. That's helpful.
Well,
you almost died. You were almost dead. That was really interesting to see.
Yeah.
But our girl Harmon here.
You owe her like a big one, like a really big one.
All in good time.
Hey, at least we have something in common. We should be dead right now.
There's a lot more than that. He walks over to the door and he closes it and he locks it. And then he shades the window. He hits the button that shades the window.
I think Baby Loni uses her murder board gloves to be like, "What do you got? What do you need?"
Yes.
He just sort of rubs his temples. Like, the sheer memory of this is kind of difficult to relive. And you see his other hand is just sort of clenched in a fist on his knee as he sits back down on the bed, sort of between you guys. And he goes, "I know you guys are waiting to hear what I saw, and I'm going to tell you, before that, I need you to know that I'm sorry. I know that you guys agreed to do this with me, but it was my idea, and it was stupid, and I don't regret trying to do something, trying to help, but I do regret rushing into it without knowing exactly what I was getting into. When Fortress asks, I'm willing to take the fall for this. No one needs to know that you were there.
I would be very surprised if they didn't already know.
Well, they know you brought me in, but from what I understand, they don't know what it is we were doing. They're just guessing. If you guys want to stay out of this, I'm happy to say that I called you when I thought I saw something, and you came to help. This shit is... Look, you want to know what I saw?
Very much so.
Yeah.
When I looked at that tree line, I saw him manifest out of the shadows like the forest gave birth to him. It was Guest. It was Dr. Guest. I don't know what he was doing there. He wasn't there 1 second, and then the next he was, but he wasn't looking at the fire. God, those eyes. He was looking past the house. He was looking across the street at something. And when I saw him, there was this feedback, this horrible pain, and I knew that I had to see what it was that he was focused on. And he was focused. I mean, I know the guy always looks focused, but I mean, he was locked on to something. He was there for a reason. But when I looked away from him to follow his eye line, I felt myself forgetting his face, forgetting the name, forgetting what I saw. And in that split second, I made a choice, and I looked back at him, and I stared through the pain as long as it took for me to remember that it was him. He was there. That doesn't mean that he did it, doesn't mean that he set the fire, but he did this to me. And I think he knows something. When I say this is worse, I say that because you three have been such a topic since you've been here. All the shit with Pantheon and the attention of Dr. Guest. The way that he looked at you the day that you were chosen, he has to know something, right? I mean, whatever he was looking at might have been the attacker. I don't know. I just, I don't know. He's a member of the faculty. I mean, I don't know what he does, but we can't just go around accusing members of the faculty. I don't know how deep this goes. I don't know. I don't want to make another wrong move.
Yeah, I don't think any of us want to make another wrong move.
But this is your rodeo now. I mean, he looks down and then he looks back up again. I think my part in this particular story has to end, but not quite yet. I got us into this and I want to finish it. I know not to look at Guest now, but there is no one else on this campus who is equipped to find out what he was looking at. I saw it clear as day where he was looking. I just didn't see what it was.
When you look at whatever you're going to look at, you're not going to find him.
Find who?
Dr. Guest again.
Well, he was... I mean, I know where he was in that moment, so I'll make sure to stay in the moment where he was.
Are you...
So it's been significantly more than 24 hours.
Yeah.
You just hopped out of a coma.
Yeah, it would be risky. But, you know, what's 3 days, right?
Backtrack. I don't think what we did was stupid. I told Baby this. Every time you go out on the hunt, there's a chance you might not come back. However, this idea is stupid.
I don't think what you did was stupid. Going to figure out what these events that are clearly surrounding you three were about in your own way, on your own terms, no, not remotely stupid. But me encouraging it out of my own blind curiosity and I don't think that you are stupid. I think that I did the stupid. Just me. And that's why I want to fix this. All right? Please, anything. If you don't want me to go, then at least let me tell you where to look. He was locked eyes across the street, past the house.
I think Baby Loni pulls up like a street view map. There's like
He looks, he kind of traces, he looks at the forest, he looks across and he goes, okay, this. And he zooms in on another of the larger, like, big house dorms, the fancy ones, that is on the other side of the street across. And if you were looking from the forest across out that way past this house, it's directly adjacent on the other side of the street. Here, who lives here?
I have no idea. Do you guys know who lives here?
Would I know who lives there?
Just kind of taking stock of it, looking around. Thinking about it, this was the house that was set aside for you guys if you wanted it, but didn't take. It's empty. It's unoccupied. And has been this whole time.
Sick.
Fuck. Team Pantheon, out of character. Did we reveal to Baby Loni and Backtrack the stuff that Teatro showed us from the day that Pantheon's one of her forms died?
I don't think
no.
you did.
Okay.
You told him about the article, but I don't think you told him about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I think that is something we should confront Pantheon about, but we might not want to bring that up now. I just was going to bring it up if everyone was aware of it, but I feel like that's Pantheon's business, so
Yeah.
keep that secret for her for now.
Look, maybe you're right. Maybe I shouldn't get involved. I feel fine, but I felt fine last time too, and that was the wrong call. Again, it's your rodeo, and I'm not going to get in the way, but there is a limited time here before this gets bigger.
Yep, that's what I've been telling everyone.
Come the weekend, that house is going to go back under construction. They're going to work on it. There are going to be people. If you want to get to the bottom of this, well, I guess the actual house doesn't matter, but the longer this goes, the more attention I'm afraid is going to come of this.
How about this? It's 7:30.
a.m.
Yeah. That's fine.
We give you like half a day. We meet back at like lunchtime. And then if we think we should go back at all, if we should go back and take you, we'll reconvene and relay that. But I think there are some things we need to talk about. And some guidance we need to reach out for.
That's fine. Whatever you need to do, just be careful. I mean, it's a professor at the school. I don't know what.
He doesn't.
We don't have all the information. No, I guess not. Still, I think you should investigate this the old-fashioned way. You're right. If I try to look past a day, I'll probably hurt myself again, and we don't need that. I don't want that on your heads. Admitting my own
I
weaknesses.
did a lot of work to make sure that you would. Yeah, let's throw all that away. Cool.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's fine. I just want this to be right. That's all. And that's everything I know.
All right. Well, thank you. I think we can try to take it from here. If you still want to meet up at, noon, whatever, sometime of the day, can do it. But I feel like it'd be better if you hung back from this one. You got Baby Loni to take care of you. More like berate you, but
It's like I've been doing a lot of research into psychic warding. Just the night like that I was staying there, and and I think there's some things maybe you should do, maybe you could do to protect your brain when you're looking for things, and just sort of like here's a new murder board of things. Of possible things.
That's what you want after you sleep for 3 days. Homework.
Did you think you were going to get out of this without getting your butt kicked? I don't know.
No, I didn't. Really, though, thank you, Bale. All of you. I think they're going to poke and prod at my temples a little bit more before they let me go. And after that, I think I need a very large burger of some kind. So, if you need to find me, look where burgers are sold.
see ya. BB will text him the burger place that we went to with Pantheon Monday morning.
That's essentially the equivalent of being like texting a Californian and being like, "Have you heard of In-N-Out?" It's very funny.
Have you heard of a place called the California Pizza Kitchen?
I also thought he was going to say California Pizza Kitchen. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys have set aside maybe a meeting time with him later.
Yeah.
So what are you guys up to for the rest of the day?
Bitch, let's call our mom, because she said she would give us until the end of the week. But this is kind of huge, so I feel like we should talk to her about it.
Okay.
Sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I agree with that. Have I heard back from Wi-Fi at all?
Oh.
No, not yet.
Okay. Tight. So, who wants to be the one to call her?
I will. Just
All right.
sort of in the frame of like, so Backtrack's awake and don't really know how to proceed from here because it's a real curveball.
She responds, "All right, I'll be at the house in 5 seconds."
Sick.
As we walk back to the house, can we say that we discuss that we're gonna show her the article that Teatro gave us, or the pictures in which we see the person who looks like Dr. Guest as a part of that cult or whatever terrorist organization being arrested?
Sure.
Okay, tight. Sweet.
So you guys head back to the house and you find Pantheon waiting outside. She gets up and she looks you guys over and she looks at Baby Loni and she goes,
Oh, I'm there.
"Yeah, if you want to be."
Okay. I
don't want to dismiss you from the session before it's over.
Yeah, sorry. I thought that was the point where Baby Loni was probably going to exit. No, sorry, my bad.
No.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it at the end.
You're fine. But I do want to say that I probably relayed that information to Blackout, just everything that I know.
Sure.
And have found out. And also that, like, I've probably, like, left Backtrack in there and it's like, yeah, you get yourself together before, you know, everybody comes in. And then, like, it, like, goes and just sort of, like, privately cries on Hecate for a while. So it's just been a long couple of days. And then, yeah, if I'm there with you, then now I'm there with you, and just sort of like.
So
when you are with Hecate, though, I will say that there is this moment of seriousness that she gets. She kind of drops that anger that you're used to seeing from her, and she sort of pulls back and she looks at you and she goes, I know you've been running around with the three.
They can't cook.
That's what you're worried about?
Oh,
I digress.
no.
Look, when this is over, after today, this week has been insane, and I kind of hate it, and I would love to just get back to what we came here to do. Blackout wants to start up again tomorrow, and if you tell Backtrack I said this, I will actually kill you. I will phase into your body and pull your heart out. That is something I can do, and you can't prove that I can't. Okay? But he probably needs us right now, and starting tomorrow, could you just drop this just for a little while? Just, I mean, you don't even need to drop it forever. Just come back with us, please.
I think I found out pretty much everything I wanted to know. I wanted to know what happened to Backtrack and how it could help. And I think I found that. And I think there maybe are some loose ends I need to tie up, but yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Good. Then go. Have a nice hurrah of a day.
Big, tight, like, hug, and like...
Never, ever tell me what you did. I don't want to know.
It's okay. Their food's so bad.
Oh.
Then you go to the house.
It's true. And as we walk, or like, at some point, we give you that information about Dr. Guest and Pantheon.
Oh, yeah. So, Jade, I don't know if I sent you the Dr. Guest stuff, but you would know at least a little bit about him. He is a figure that has been on campus for a while. He is a tall man who always wears a black suit. He's very skinny, very gaunt, very tall, kind of scarecrow-like guy with bright yellow eyes and long, stringy, straight black hair. He never speaks. He doesn't teach a class. He doesn't lead a squad. No one really knows what he does for the school, only that he is employed by the school. And he just sometimes will show up in your classes or at your training sessions and just observe, never say anything, and no one will say anything to him, and then he just leaves. He's just around all the time, somewhere. He's not always in the same place, but he just is around the school. And it's like one of those weird things where it's like, what the fuck? Why is he here? Yeah. And so what they would have told you is that they've had some weird encounters with him where it seems as though his attention has been on them more than anyone else. So that's what you know about Dr. Guest.
Yeah, I think as like a naturally inquisitive person, a person who just stands there and gives you nothing and would is mysterious, but also so to Baby Loni. And now that she knows that his presence put a spike in her friend's brain, I think she's sort of so ready for this to not be her problem. But yeah.
So as you guys approach Pantheon in front of the door, she goes, well, I'm very happy to see that you're making friends. Pantheon, hi. Are you involved in all of their bullshit?
Little bit. Do I maybe I can just sort of send like a big zip file of the information to her phone.
When she asks you if you're involved in their bullshit, there's this knowing look on her face because she did send these guys. Like, she knows that you were there asking questions about these three. And at the restaurant, she told them that you were and sent them to go see you. So, like, she's well aware. Yeah. So as you step inside the house, she sits down on the couch. She's like, I'm listening.
So, Dr. Guest.
Her brow furrows. What about him?
He is what Backtrack saw that made Backtrack go insane. And we did a little, not insane, but catatonic. We did a little digging of ourselves and found this. And I show her the image of the terrorist group being arrested at the site where her sixth form was last seen. And I zoom in on the guy who looks like Dr. Guest.
Her face just turns to stone at the image. But then actually softens a little bit when you zoom in on Guest. She goes, well, in one sense, I'm flattered that you're so invested in your old teacher's background. I appreciate that in a way. But you guys are way off base.
No, my intention was not to make it seem like we suspected him. Backtrack made it very clear that he was looking at something else.
Look, I know Dr. Guest is weird and creepy. I get it. I've heard the rumors. And, you know, they're founded. He's weird. But let me make one thing very clear, okay? Yes, Dr. Guest was a member of the Unbound. But his loyalties changed, let's say. He switched sides before that conflict at great risk to himself. He helped us that day. In a lot of ways, he probably saved my life. For all his past indiscretions, he is a good man and has done good things. I'm not at liberty to fully discuss his role at the school. That's on Fortress. And I respect her too much to violate that. But I would strongly advise you to think before any attempts to spread this information around.
No?
Sure, but we are being asked to swallow just a lot of pills, and being given very little answers, and I need you to recognize that. Since we've been put on your team, it seems that we have come under an immense amount of mysterious trouble. And the fact that we are being given no answers is a problem for me.
I know you want there to be this grand reason why I came back and why you were put with me. But I'm sorry to say that it's just what it is. Fortress trusted me to train you. The heroes, the squad leaders, they keep their own counsel on why they put together the people that they do. And already, in the short amount of time that you've been together, I can already see why you three should be together. And how well you work with other people as well. She looks at Loni. She goes, mistakes were not made here, and as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't beg questions. She saw something in you that I could help with, so she called me. And lucky for her, I was willing to comply. No, you don't know everything. But is there a grand conspiracy? Maybe. But I'm not in on it.
Backtrack said that he was looking very deliberately at the house we are supposed to be in that we didn't take. My question is, how would guest know to be there in the first place and to know where to look? It's, again, I don't care about what guest has done or does now, but
Also, what was going on there? Also, was shadow people or nearby your future house? House burned same day, someone coming for your house?
I guess my question is, knowing that guest was in the picture, knowing that once again there is undeniable proof that we're being pulled into something, do you want us to drop it? Because if you say no, we're gonna go back to the houses and look again.
That, and also, if guest is someone that we're supposed to trust, I'd like to trust our professors at this school, but just feels kind of wrong. Like, are we supposed to be asking him for help? Because the only other thing is he knows what's going on with us, that hypothetical, theory, and we need to ask him for help, or I don't know what else to think. The only other thing I can think is that, I don't know, he's part of a distraction to, for the fire.
If you'd like me to talk to him, I can maybe set up a meeting. I mean, look, the man has an office here. If you want to try to talk to him, you're welcome to do so. I can't guarantee that he's going to have anything to say. His role at the school is very specific. I probably could get in a lot of trouble for telling you this much, but he is largely an observer.
Yeah, but why does he have to be so creepy doing it?
Yeah.
Like, you can...
That's what a man looks like.
It's not what he looks like. It's just, the vibe, It's like, dude.
Wash your hair.
Again,
Camera looks away.
Pantheon does laugh despite herself. She goes, look, I don't ask for your guys' trust. It's been a very short time and the circumstances are incredibly weird. I wish that I could tell you absolutely everything I know about the world, and I'm trying to. I really am. I haven't done this in a long time. I walked away from this for a reason. And if I'm being honest, I don't know that I can still do this. Fortress is held up as this shining example. I'm not to be held responsible for that, and I'm equally responsible for the one that... I don't have a perfect track record in this regard, shall we say, okay? And the piece of me that I lost in that picture, I've tried really hard to move past that. And that's the reason that I don't know if I can still do this, okay? And it's the reason that I have to try. The piece of me that I lost that day was... It was the first aspect of myself, the part of me that's underneath the powers. I spread myself too thin out of necessity And I tried to fight with the piece of myself that was just for me. And I lost the most human core of my being. I've never been able to get that back. Kind of feels good to say it out loud. But now you know, okay? There's something, a piece of me that you know now. I don't know if that's helpful, but it's the best I can do for you right now. Keep working with your friends. Keep making friends. Trust me, you want to surround yourself with people that you can trust, but you need to make that choice. I can't tell you who to trust, even if that extends to me. I can tell you that my previous offer still stands. I'll check with Dr. Guest, see if I can set up a meeting, see if he'll talk to you. He just might. And in the meantime, you guys do whatever you think you have to, within reason, and report back to me on Friday with what you find. You're doing a good job. You really are. I mean, we just might pull this thing off.
All right, well, I guess we will see you Friday. Are we going back to the hamburger place?
I mean, I won't say no.
Is it
I'll
about that
probably like
time?
drop by and like pick up that burger for
Mhm.
yeah.
Paramount will, because I guess it's a hugging team now. It's been a hugging kind of couple days, and we'll like ask if Pantheon wants a hug.
She just laughs and she walks up to you and she just sort of like very brief, like pat pat. And then get some food, get some rest, do what you have to do. I'll be around. She steps outside and rockets up into the air.
Love that.
You love to see it.
Love to see.
You love to see it.
So you guys are left alone in the house again, knowing that there is one last little piece of investigation for the day, at least with you, Baby Loni, before you kind of return to your team and try to get Backtrack back to normal. How do you guys want to approach this?
Over lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Should we go now? Should we go at night? Is Backtrack there? We're with Backtrack.
You can go back to
Has he been-
the room and discuss, but he's pretty busy. But you can
Just
go back and talk to
down
him.
the door.
Mhm.
Our time now.
Yeah, you can do that.
We're the protagonists.
Get out of here,
Oh.
doctors.
Because we said we would do that.
Yeah.
So I think we bring him a burger, and we're just like talking, like, what should we do? How should we do it?
He has never looked more in love with you than when you hand him a burger.
I gotta go.
Same.
Haribone gives him a wink.
It might be for the burger, though. It might be more for the burger than you.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'll take what I can get.
The way of a man's heart.
Haramon's, dude, she's on the hunt, literally. With
Did
this man.
the charm
Oh.
that you gave him, does it come on a necklace or something, or a bracelet?
Yes.
Okay.
It
He would be
comes-
wearing it.
Shut
under-
up.
Yeah, he'd be wearing it.
No.
Do I clock
Mm-mm.
that?
Mm-mm. No.
You would clock that the necklace is on, but he's got it tucked into his shirt.
No.
So you don't see it, but you clock that he's wearing a necklace. It's
Okay.
pretty-
No, he's not.
Really, like, don't you dare make me feel an emotion.
All right.
Oops, you thought you caught me.
Calling it now might have to have just a tiny scene at the end of this scene, but it's fine.
Backtrack, do you think it would behoove us to go at night to investigate the place. Just because the fire happened at night, that was arguably when Dr. Guest was there.
I guess I don't think it really matters.
I wouldn't want
Do we
to
wanna
check
be
out the
seen?
creepy house.
No one is going
At
there, as
night.
far as I know.
Oh wait, no, it would have been your house. Do you like have keys?
Well, it was,
It's unoccupied. so-
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was set aside, but we
Yeah.
never took it. But it's on the same street as Team Prestige is, right?
Yeah, it is on
Across
like
the
the
street.
dorms street, so like people might see you going there.
Yeah. They'd be like, these bitches have moved twice in like 5 days.
Like, oops, forgot my hair dryer.
Well, then I think we just go from here.
Yeah.
I mean,
What exactly are we looking for though at the house? Just going to look to see what the house could have, like an Easter egg.
I guess. It's worth covering that base.
Did you tell Backtrack everything during this time, by the way?
About what?
About everything you learned from all the people you talked to?
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
It's
Murder
not-
board, glove, hands.
So
like-
Backtrack, he kind of puts his investigator hat on too, and you see that he's like vibing with Loni about this, but he's like, you said you talked to Solar Flare, and he said that someone would have to probably maintain eye contact, right, to have that level of control over the fire. That's interesting because that house, the second story window, you get a perfect view of the entire party when it was happening.
yep, that's true.
Baby, do you have any God, I love that your name is Baby.
Baby or BB?
Baby. Do you have any, now this might be a stupid question based entirely on media, but do you have any of the fun black light sprays, detection devices, anything that could potentially show us evidence of someone being somewhere?
Well, I do have my fanny pack, but I think it's back at the house.
Like when they have like a black light or like the fingerprint powder,
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
You might have fingerprinting stuff, maybe. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
I feel
That's
like
not
I
a
had
big
a,
equipment ask.
yeah. I might. I have a fanny pack full of like storage capacity, but I don't know if I have any detective tools in it.
I don't know about fancy gadgetry because you're not a gadget build,
No.
but fingerprinting stuff makes sense for an investigation build. So I feel like you
Also,
might
that's
have
just
that.
Like what? Tape and eyeshadow?
Eh,
Like
I don't know.
a Daphne from Scooby Doo.
You know? Yeah. And we have the Silhouette's got good detecting things gadgets too.
Yeah.
That's true.
I also have a fanny pack, Loni. We're gonna be fanny pack friends.
With Backtrack now fine. Lonnie's whole vibe is of an incredibly smug, just a smug cartoon rabbit. It's just like is her constant state of just yes.
I have a question. Backtrack's powers, he has to be at the place, right? To
Yeah.
see.
And he can only see back a day without hurting himself.
Okay.
We don't want to hurt the boy again.
No.
Yeah.
Protect the boy.
I was gonna ask about the fire in the other place. If he'd be able to use his power for us to figure more stuff out about that house.
Uh-huh.
But that's not how that works. Okay.
I think we just go to that other house across the street and just scope it as much as we can.
But is there any way that we can be better prepared for what we might find and who we might find?
I can take my sharp stick, the one that's meant to kill.
Yeah.
And
I'm
yeah,
not
you're-
going to say no this time to that idea.
Are there security cameras around there?
Ooh.
No, not around the dorms. I think that would be extremely unethical. I mean, with
Just out and about, just
Considering
or like on the buildings, not in them.
Like on the street lamps and stuff.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they would. I don't think they would do that. I think that would make people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think they have other ways to kind of accomplish that. So,
And what
Yeah,
someone
I'd like
would
to
say
see-
to us, like, we're not allowed to go into the house that was set aside for us. And even if we did, even if they do, we were told to go here by our teacher, so professor.
I guess
Squad leader.
I'm not so much worried about people who might ask us what we're doing, but rather someone who could hurt us like they have
Mhm.
this boy over here.
well, Backtrack goes, well, from everything that it seems, I don't think Dr. Guest meant to actually injure me. I guess
No.
I can't say that for sure, but it seems like a passive ability of his. At least that's what Dr. Mary has been saying. But as far as threat of injury, from what you guys have said, it sounds like you're the last people that this person wants to hurt. You were lured away. The fire, all evidence would indicate that it was set and controlled in a way that wouldn't injure anyone.
That is true.
I don't know that you're in danger, but even if you are, you're a
I
bunch
was
of beefcakes and invisible people. It'll be fine.
Also, if the same person was there and did want to hurt us, with their ability to control fire and how it manifested, it would kind of be like we would not be on fire and then we would be. I don't know how much we can prepare
I mean,
for that.
Yeah, there's that.
I'm just saying, you had your techie friends tracking your phone. Do you maybe, or like listening in on things? Do you maybe want to just, I don't know, let them know, like, hey, we might be doing something.
That's a great idea.
Do you
And
want to just
I
make
honestly-
sure no one gets us got?
Yeah, I mean, I
Just keeping it
definitely am not against that. And I was thinking in the back of my head, let's have
Wi-Fi.
troubleshooter, right?
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi on speed dial.
Yeah.
Or see if they could, like, just tap your phone in so much as keeping an ear out
Yeah.
for screams.
Yeah. Silhouette sends like a quick text to Wi-Fi,
Okay.
and asks if they're home.
Yeah, she can do that.
And then is just says like, please keep an ear out. I'd like for the next, I don't know, few hours
Mhm.
to be recorded.
Ooh,
Got it.
yeah.
She agrees.
Cool.
So, I mean, Silhouette, you got your skates?
Yeah, I don't think she would have. Where they've gone from the hospital to home to hospital.
Yeah.
She still has them on. I like to think that anytime she is wearing them, she still has her shoes on like this lace, where the shoes kind of hang from, that she can also switch out like the skates with. Kind of like a little. It's just
Didn't you get an upgrade though that made your skates Heelys and all-terrain vehicles?
yeah, but like just
Just
nice
to
to
have.
also have
Yeah.
shoes. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, I don't know what else we need if we got the skates. Let's roll on over there.
So you guys go like in the middle of the day?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys head over, you see the sort of semi-charred, semi-ruin of the house. You make your way down the street and you see other students are sort of moving around. It is in the middle of the day, so most of the students that would have these houses are in training. So in a way, actually, it is better that you guys came during the day because no one is home really right now. Not a lot of people are out on the street. And you come to this house, this big house that is pretty much the same architectural layout as Menagerie's house was, but you can see the emptiness of it, and you look at it and sort of take it in. There's no little makeshift forest outside this one. You follow your eye line up to the window that Backtrack mentioned, because you hear there's a light breeze today. It's this light, warm summer breeze, and the window is just sort of hitting against the wall. And you look up and you see that it is open.
Sick.
Enter into the house through the front
Do
door.
you want to do an invisible scope?
Of what?
That's an idea.
Invisibly scope out the rooms to see if anybody's in there?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, but beforehand, can I, like, take out binoculars and see if I see any shadows moving, like,
Ooh,
in that room?
interesting. Yeah, go ahead and make a perception of some kind.
Okay.
Are there any
What would that be?
The closest trees of the little forest across the street, the little, like, fake forest.
Which one would that be?
Willpower or intelligence, depending on... if you're just looking for details, it should be intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God. Oh. I failed all of it.
No.
Oh, no.
So you look up into the room, and the angle is just absolute shit. You don't see any shadows in the room.
Okay.
It's too high up, and you're struggling.
That sucks. Okay, well then, Silhouette. You said it's on the top story. Silhouette changes her shoes, and then she goes invisible, and then walks over to the door. Are you guys with me? Or like, okay, because I was gonna say, oh, you guys aren't.
Well,
Who
I'm
is?
saying no because I'm letting you go on invisible to see if.
Oh, okay.
That
I guess my question is anyone coming with? Or
would feel like defeat the purpose of
Yeah.
you being invisible.
okay.
I think it was stand in like the doorway
Okay.
and
Well,
listen
then-
for you, but I think it's up to you.
Great. Okay. Well, I go invisible. I open the door.
When you open the door, Silhouette, you turn the knob, and there's a weight, there's a click that you expect when you open a doorknob that is unlocked, and that click isn't there. It's loose and kind of shitty, almost broken. When you open the door and you pull it open and you look at that lock, and it's a little scratched up. It's a little messed up, the lock on this door.
Awesome. You said it looks like Menagerie's place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Inside is just this, it really is the exact same layout,
It's like model homes.
but it is completely bare. Like there might be some like bare minimum furniture, just like simple couches and a dresser or two, but there's nothing like particularly furnished about it.
But we
Okay.
do have a pool. Like, because his house had a pool.
His house had a pool. There can be a pool.
Yeah.
Yes. Is there is
Now
there
this is just Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
is the window that's open the only window that's open from what we can tell?
Yes.
And it's the one that okay.
Um,
Can I try to Assassin's Creed in case I have to get
Yeah.
up to the second story really fast
Mhm.
and just like stay there, like just hanging, just chilling,
Sure.
waiting to hear, hopefully not hear Silhouette screaming.
So
Right.
I need to make an addendum to the messed up lock. I don't know if you like looked at it much or not, but it's an important detail. So I didn't want to like bar it behind a roll.
sure.
But it did catch your attention, the weight of it. So I think you would have looked at it at least in passing, and even a brief look at it that is like a little longer than normal. The inside of the lock is like, it looks like it's been kind of melted and then re-solidified. Like the metal of it looks warped.
Love it.
Yeah.
I hate it. Okay, so I walk in, I take a look around like the living room, kind of like where I kind of walk in the same pattern that we did when we first went to the party. So like I go to where we sat with like knock knock.
Right.
And then I don't know, is there anything around me? Do I notice anything?
Go ahead and make an investigation. The general look without a roll is an empty house.
Okay.
There's nothing
Is that
strange.
is that intelligence?
Yes.
Okay. 2 out of 3 successes.
Okay. So you're looking for any sign that anyone has been here, right? You're looking to see, and it is pretty bare. There's really no sign of anything here downstairs. It hasn't really been kept up or cleaned particularly recently, but it's not like super dusty either because it hasn't been that long.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing suspicious on in this area in the bottom floor.
Okay. Silhouette makes her way upstairs.
Okay.
Question
And
mark.
so in the time it took you to do that, you climbed up.
Yeah, I'm just hanging somehow, if I can be, just outside the window, ready to like go over up and over.
So you're up on the.
I'm like spidered.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed, Nathan Draked on the side of the house.
Since
Are you on like latched onto the windowsill?
She's not well, okay. Is it one of those sills that sort of extends past the actual frame of the window?
Just a little.
Because then I would be hanging off of that as to not
Yeah.
potentially contaminate the actual window sill itself.
So as you're doing that, you feel these sort of crumbly grooves in the windowsill on the top part of it.
Oh, shit. Okay.
The fuck does that mean?
I'm hanging here and
You just feel something ashy up there.
Oh.
And it's
Cool.
like indented. It go like if you touch that, your fingers kind of sink lower.
Like a
into the
little
solid surface.
pile of ash. Okay.
Since the first floor is clear and you're moving up, I think we're gonna move in, or I'm at least going to move into the first floor.
I'll follow, baby.
Okay.
Is
so
Backtrack there?
Backtrack did not come with you, no.
Okay.
No.
So you're going upstairs.
Yeah.
You see the hallway with the various bedrooms, and you know which one. Like doing the math in your head, you know which room is that window.
Are there any like prints on the floor? Is it carpet? Is it wood?
It's wood.
Is there any like what? I don't know. Okay. I hate this. Okay. Are any of the doors open already?
Yeah, the doors are all just passively open. They're all just left open.
I just like peek my head through all of them because I just want to like have a sure check of everything.
You just see empty, unfurnished bedrooms until you come to that particular bedroom.
Okay.
And as you peek your head into it, you do see these dark. Well, from this distance, it's hard to see more, but you can see these dark spots, these ashy, sunken-in marks on the windowsill, and something else, something like a rolled-up piece of paper, almost like sitting in front of the windowsill as well.
I hate it so much.
Maybe check for footprints too. Like indentations in the carpet.
There's no carpet, it's wood.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, that's what my thought was.
besides the ash on the windowsill, there doesn't seem to be any sort of ring or like radius of any indication that like the person who was doing the fire was also partly on fire while, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. There's no indication.
It's just on the windowsill.
Just on the windowsill is what you're seeing, yeah.
Okay. There's no like closet where someone can like pop out and just kill Silhouette, right?
There's a closet in the room.
Oh, okay.
It's open.
There's no one inside?
There's no one inside.
Okay.
You didn't check the top of the closet.
Do you want for your own peace of mind, do you want to make a check for the top floor in general?
I do.
And also, if you go to the windowsill, like Harmon is right there, ready to like come up.
I have to do rolls when you do rolls like this, so you don't know. You know, like I have to roll every time so that you don't know if I need to or not.
I only got one success out of 3.
Yeah, you don't see or hear anything.
Do you get to re-roll anything on a skill?
It's not really a skill.
Okay. What are your skills that you have?
Pageantry. Or wait. Oh, stealth.
Oh, well.
I didn't
Stealth,
think about that. So should I re-roll?
You can roll. Well, that wasn't for stealth. That was for looking to see if anyone was here.
Okay.
And you didn't see anybody.
Okay. I'm going to go up to the piece of paper.
You go up to the piece of paper, and it looks to be like an old newspaper. It's well kept, and it's sitting on this table in front of the windowsill. And on the windowsill, that ashy, those dark marks that you could see, and you also see you see Harriman's hands. Her hands are almost clasped into these handprints. There are burned handprints, like someone was clasped onto this windowsill.
Okay. Oh my god.
And there is writing, like in marker, over this newspaper.
Oh, great.
Are we up there with her now?
If you want to be, yeah.
Yeah, I'll follow baby up.
Okay. I take a picture of the handprints with a camera that I have in my bag, and then I look at the newspaper.
You look at the newspaper, and it is the same article in print form. The article from Amberley.
Oh.
Of course it is.
And written in marker over it are the words, "No justice before truth."
Okay. Is this piece of paper, I flip it over, is there anything else on it?
It's like a cutout news clipping. So
Okay.
the back of it is just like a piece of some random piece from Amberley about like a food review or something.
Great. Is this paper like seared, like at all, like on the edges, or like is it just?
It's well kept.
Okay.
I got a 2 out of 3 success on investigation.
Okay. So actually, I already did that.
First intelligence.
So on investigation, you're looking around, you definitely see those prints. The hand markings like in the windowsill. And you're looking around for any more evidence in here when you see just the slightest displacement of dust in the hallway. You kind of trace back out of the room and you hear for a split second, this very soft creak on the floor.
No. No.
Just for a second, it almost lines up with the window kind of blowing against the door, or blowing against the wall. It's almost imperceptible, but you heard it.
Ian, we refuse. This is not happening.
You can't
Oh,
make
no.
us.
Should one of us call out? Who heard it?
She's
It
the
was
only one
Baby,
who heard
right?
it. Lonnie's the
Baby,
only
yeah.
one who heard it. And it came from the hallway somewhere
I
outside
think I'm
this
gonna
bedroom.
make like a wait, like, and just like, can I tell where you are invisibly, Silhouette?
I'd like to think that if you guys are ever near me, maybe I like tug on you, like
Okay.
like.
There's
little
also a
double
floating
tug.
newspaper.
Oh yeah, there's that
Yeah.
too.
I think I want to try and. Do I need to roll for making some kind of like motion, like?
If you guys understand that, you can understand that out of
I
character.
understand it.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hermione will just ever so slowly take out the spear.
Yeah, I can I also I guess I can't. Can I? I
Stick your invisible head in the hallway.
yeah, I was gonna say like I can see Haramone's hands, right?
I think at this point, like if you wanted to take a picture of the thing, the handprints that like she would have. Have you seen that clip of that one lady on American Ninja Warrior where she goes up the wall and like turns around and faces backwards and does the smooch and with her body strength like flips back up on top of it? Hermione does that.
Okay,
Oh.
I
So
imagined
she's
it.
in with you guys.
Great. Okay, great. That's all I wanted. Okay. I kind of make my like from the bottom of my feet to like my shin visible so I can show you guys that I'm walking out the room, and then I go back invisible, and then I walk down the hallway to see if I could see or hear anything.
Okay, go ahead and make a new investigation type roll.
Would this require a stealth too?
It would require a stealth if you're trying not to be seen.
3 out of 3.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs.
Spaghetti. Okay.
3 out of 3 on investigating, you mean? Or on the stealth? That was on the investigating, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
So you are moving down the hallway and you're looking. One of the doors is now closed. Mostly. Not enough to click it. But it was not closed before.
Do we want to take the bait? Ugh. I say yes. 'Cause
I
that's
also
fun.
say yeah,
think
too.
so. Okay.
Do you want to pull us into the hallway, though?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
That might lose the element of surprise. They might be faking you out.
are they? I don't fucking know. Hand visible. It's like this. To you guys.
So we're like waiting in the hallway, like while you.
Yeah.
I guess so. I guess whatever you guys want to do.
Ready.
Silhouette is before she like pushes the door open or anything, is the door handle, what is it also like wonky like the first one?
No.
Okay.
Is
It
the
is
door
not.
kind of open?
It is kind of open. It's closed enough to not be able to really see inside, but it's not closed enough to have made a click when it closed.
Okay. Are there any like shadow of feet under the door?
There's not a shadow of feet, but just a general long shadow being
Great.
cast.
All right, whatever. I say a silhouette dies.
Baby Loni like takes off her hat and charges it up. Like,
Silhouette slowly pushes open the door to maybe mimic the wind. Is there more wind?
I mean, you can hear it just gently outside. It's not really wind in the house, but yeah.
Okay.
So you gently push the door open.
Yeah.
And you see, crouched in the open window, facing away from you, a figure dressed completely in black in this almost skin-tight body armor, but it has its own musculature that hides the frame of this person in a lot of ways. So you can't really tell any particular details. There's no particular outlining outside of the musculature. And they're wearing this mask/helmet kind of a situation. It has like a buttress that goes up, so the ears are covered. And then there's a helmet part over top that's just a black slate like screen. It's kind of this reflective black surface. It covers the nose and the eyes. As they're crouched in this window, almost like they're about to jump out and down, they turn their head to look at you, and you just see the thin line of a mouth, the only part of skin that's showing, just stares at you, and for a moment, the head turns to each one of you in time. To Silhouette, to Haramon, to Loni, and finally on BB. The mouth curls up into a smirk. Before the other hand that's not clutched in the windowsill moves slightly. Does anyone try to do anything before this person does whatever they do? You guys have time for one action.
Okay, are we in the room? Who's in the room?
I think we're in the doorway.
You guys are in the doorway.
We're all standing in the doorway.
I only have two hands, so I'm gonna grab Baby, and I'm gonna grab Silhouette because I trust that BB can handle herself, and just pull back into the hallway to we got to leave sort of situation.
I think as she's being, what, you're pulling me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think as she's being tugged, she's like, "Are you magged in?" Like.
Okay. As you pull, BB, you were gonna do what?
Can I do an action?
Yeah, you guys, you all have time for one action unless you're all doing something at once. That was an action that encompassed all three of you because you pulled, but you weren't included in that, so you can do something at the same time.
I'll say stop, and then I'll shoot at the wall right next to their head.
You shoot at the wall next to their head.
Bang.
They turn and they look at it, and the smile grows wider. And then they turn to look back at you again. And they press their two fingers into their palm. And emanating from this wrist gauntlet, this cleverly disguised wrist gauntlet that they're wearing, this thick, roiling, oily smoke begins to pour into the room. Something that, BB, you've encountered this kind of thing before. Kind of in a recent dream, too.
Oh.
But this is a much thicker, more potent version. It's thick and dark gray to black, and it begins to fill this room very quickly, obscuring this figure entirely. So 3 of you are out of the room, but BB, you're still here. I need you to make a Constitution check.
All right. Let me check Baby's Constitution because I believe it's 3.
Yeah.
Do you have her page open in front of you? Okay,
Yeah.
It's 3? Okay.
Yeah, it is 3.
That's gonna be, first one is 2 successes, so it's a 6, failure, and another failure, so 2 successes out of 3.
Okay.
Nice.
2 successes out of 3. As you see this smoke start to roil up around you, it gets into your senses, and you feel that familiar sensation of being pulled into unconsciousness. And you shrug it off, and you center yourself, but you know if you stay in it, it'll continue to affect you and only get worse the longer you stay in it. But you resist it long enough to do something else now.
I run forward and push them out of the window with myself. Like I tackle them out of the window.
You run forward, straight up to the window, and you lunge forward as if to tackle, and find nothing. And you begin to plummet forward.
Oh, shit.
And as you start to fall, that's where we're going to pick up next time.
Dang! The emotions!
God. God, the dream parallel too. Fuck.
Well,
Oh,
guys,
stop. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
Oh.
so there's that.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
there
Thank
is
you
that,
for
huh?
Well, it's been fun, guys.
thank you for joining us, everybody.
Yay!
Jade, thank you for being here.
Jade.
Thanks for having me.
I hope that we can have you again in the future.
Please.
And until next time, guys, don't inhale mysterious smoke from a figure in a windowsill.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.